We're Supertrad. This is Eric Schedler on the accordion.
Sam Bartlett on the banjo and the stunts.
And we have a tune that we love to play. We have a couple of tunes we love to play. Let's do this. We learned the first one from the great Pete Sutherland, who was dear in our hearts. Thank you, dear people. We love those tunes so much. Carmichael Gal and The Trip to Dixie, written by some Irish guys. It was their idea of what an old-time tune might sound like, which is hilarious to us because it doesn't sound old-time at all, but we love it. We're going to play a set of jigs, two of them written by Eric Schedler.
First one is for our late but great friend Jamie Gantz of Bloomington and other places. I gave it a title, The Young Man from St. Paul, which is a bit of a story, but Jamie went to Ireland years ago and met Paddy O'Brien, and Paddy played him a hornpipe, and Jamie said, "What's the name of that tune?" And he said, "Oh, it doesn't have a name yet. I'll call it The Young Man from St. Paul." And then when it got put into a tune book, it got renamed something else. So Jamie was always kind of sad that he didn't have a tune called The Young Man from St. Paul. So
And now he does.
now he does.
And we'll follow it with some other good ones. How How about that?
Yeah.
All right, kick it off.
1, 2.
Thanks, folks. Eric's going to come back in a little bit and rip a few more tunes with us. So
I'll go eat all the ice cream in your freezer.
You go eat the ice cream in the freezer. I'm going to do. Guess what? Hey, let's do some Stuntology. Why not? All right. So if you feel like participating, run right now and go get some paper, some tape, some scissors, a pen, and a ping pong ball. I know you have all those things just lying around, right? If you feel like it. You don't have to. But we might do some things involving those things in a second. But first of all, let's get warmed up, everybody. Come on. We're hanging at home. You're in the privacy of your own home. Let's do a stunt that I learned from a kid at an elementary school who said, Sam, can you write your name with your butt? And I said, I've never tried. So I'm going to write my name with my butt. So why don't you try this too so I don't feel alone. And here we go. Sam Bartlett is my name. Sam. Poof. How was that? Everybody should do it at least once a day. It's part of my mental health. Part of what makes me feel like a human being. So, you know, I've been doing stunts for a really long time at every CDSS camp I've ever been at for the past 30 years. Here's the first stunt I ever remember learning from my mother. It's funny how entertainment is completely different now than it used to be. Like what passed for entertainment when we were kids is pretty boring. But you know, I'm still kind of fascinated by it. And my mom would take a big button and she would put it on a piece of string like this. And then she would take it and she would spin it around like this. And that alone was kind of mesmerizing if you're 4. And then she would open up the string. And you all know this trick, right? If you're a certain age, you did this trick when you did it. And you know what? It's kind of satisfying in a weird way. I didn't tell you to get string and a button, but that was a lot to ask. You might make a note. Get string, get button, do stunt later. And boom. Isn't that beautiful? I love that stunt so much. Give it a hand. Clap, 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 clap. Not too much, though. All right. When I was a kid, our main source of entertainment was playing ping pong. And we would play ping pong. You know, I played with my sisters. We had a table in the basement, and I would typically hide under the stairs. And when my father came down the table, I would came down to play. I would grab him by the ankles, which I found hilariously funny, and he found terrifying. But my sisters and I would get together and we'd play ping pong, and we would always do this trick with a ping pong ball. We'd hit a ping pong ball in the air, and we'd try to blow it on a little poof of air out of our mouths. I don't know why we did this. We were bored. We didn't have smartphones yet for 30 more years. And we were just hanging out, inventing dumb things to do. So we would do this. We'd hit it up like this. Ooh, that was a good one. And then we'd hit it again. Oh! I lost my touch. All right, I'm glad I can't hear anybody. There we go. All right, and another, thank you, Charmaine. Another thing we would do, we would try to throw a ping pong ball into the air and catch it on our heads. Or more specifically, we try to catch it right on the end of our nose, which it probably seems impossible to you. But I don't know. I'm a little rusty on this one. I'm going to give it my best shot. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, first time, baby. First time. First time. Yeah, okay. If there's a trick to it involving rubber cement. Yeah, it's kind of satisfying every time. I'm going to do it one more time, just for me. This isn't for you. This is for me. Oh. I did it for me and it failed. That should say something to me philosophically. Thank you. All right. Man, if you know me, I do the same tricks all the time, but let me show you one that I really, truly, truly love. I love taking a straw that someone has and popping it. And it's such a classic trick. You just trap air in it. You twist the straw around itself. You trap air in it. And then you hold it with the other part of your hand and go. Whoa, that was a good one. That's made my ears kind of ring, actually. That's a great trick. That's such a stunt of yesteryear. I think that was in the show Happy Days. They did that. I like that a lot. That's going to come in a little bit later. I'm going to do that. Oh, let me show you another one. I love this trick so much because I learned it from my son Wade Bartlett when he was 5, and Wade was sitting at the table, and sort of, I don't know, he was eating breakfast, and I was making coffee. My twins had just been born. I don't think my brain functioned for a couple of years, and it wasn't functioning then. And he said, "Hey, Dad, I figured out a magic trick," and I said, "That's ridiculous. You're 5." And he said, No, I really did." And I looked over at him, and he got this really mysterious look in his face, and he looked away, and he went, and in my brain-addled state, there was some part of me that was wondering how he did that, even though I was thinking, a rubber band? How is he doing it? Yeah, it was his thumbs, magic thumbs. Thumbs are magical. Hold out your thumbs, they're magical. Thumbs are magical. And he got so good at doing this trick, it was his signature stunt, and he would, whatever he had in his hands, he would basically do this stunt with it. If he said, if he chewed his toast down to a piece of this, a tiny piece, he'd say, "Hey, I'm almost done with breakfast." And he'd be, if you'd say, "Hey, can I have that? Can I have the straw? Pass me the straw." He'd be like, "Oh, you mean this one?" So everybody should have a signature stunt. That's one of my rules. You should have a thing that you do. Here's a great stunt that anybody can do. You're going to go outside, you're going to walk down the sidewalk, and you're going to look on the ground, and you're going to look for a black hairband. One of those hair, yeah, they're going to be there. Because they're in people's hair, and they come out of people's hair and they fall on the ground just like that. So this is a great stunt I learned from a kid too. And it's the jumping hairband trick. Again, if you know how it works, it's the dumbest trick in the world. And if you don't know how it works, it's still the dumbest trick in the world. But it's the jumping hairband. Boop. Yeah, how did that happen? Isn't that crazy? Wow. I love this. Because when I first saw it, I didn't know how it worked. And the person wouldn't show me how it worked. That bothered me. Here's something cool. You can have one hairband. I'm going to show you how it works in a second. You can have a white hairband on these 2 fingers, a black hairband on these 2 fingers, and we can have them switch places. I invented this trick. I'm so proud of it. Let's see if I can actually make it work. All right. Oh, I always say to myself, I should have practiced ahead of time, but no, I didn't. Here we go. All right. That was good. I can't hear you clap, but you probably should be clapping because that was really cool. All right. Here's how you do this trick. All right, now, mild applause is probably, a couple of claps always makes me feel good. Oh, pretty good. All right, so here's how you do it. Pick up a hairband outside, maybe wash it first. You're going to open it up like this, and from this side, it's mysterious. It jumps across state lines, but from this side, it's completely unmysterious, although it might be mysterious to you. You're going to open it up and put all your fingers in, and open up, and that's how it actually jumps. Boop, boop, boop. You can think about that or just do it. Oh, I asked you to get paper. Good Lord. For those of you who got paper, let's do the paper challenge. This is a great trick. I always say this is a great trick, but I mean it this time. You're going to take a piece of paper, you're going to take some scissors, and you're going to cut it almost into 3 pieces, but not fully. All right, so it can be just dangling, just be hanging on. Make it so it's almost falling off, okay? So it's just like this, all right? And then the challenge is to pull it into 3 separate pieces of paper using your brute, amazing strength. Are you ready? Do you have yours ready? I don't know. Whatever. You're going to try. So it seems like this should be really easy, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to pull it in 3 pieces. All right. And go! All right, that didn't work so well. Let's try it one more time. It's impossible, of course. It's just one of those crazy impossible things, you know. I like this. I like crazy impossible. It's so weird not having anybody talk. I'm often in a room of people who are heckling me, and I can't hear any of you heckling me. I did a show this past week for a Columbus Day, for a Indigenous Peoples Day, and this kid was in the front row. There were all these kids there, and he said, "I've read your book 50 times." I'm like, "Oh no!" That was literally a nightmare. So now we're going to try it one more time. Ready? And done! No, can't be done. So give it a hand. Try it later. Cool. Physics. Okay. I didn't ask you to get a napkin, but this is a great trick. Again, these are practical tricks. You're going to probably do all of these in the next week, because you're going to be in a restaurant, and you're going to be waiting for some food or something, and your food's not going to arrive, and you're going to open up your napkin with your crowd, and you're going to open it up like this, and you're going to put it on top of your face, and you're going to put your head back, put it on your face. And then the stunt is to try to blow the napkin off your face. And if you don't do it right, it'll stick to your face even harder. And if you do it just right, you'll be able to blow it into the air. So the secret is you hold your breath, and you try not to breathe at all, or let any moisture come out of your mouth that will stick to the napkin. All right, here we go. If you have a napkin, let's do this together. Count to three. Will you count to three in the other room? No, not yet. Okay. When I have the napkin on my face. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Pretty good. Not bad. It's not really worth doing again, but I want you to remember that. Again, you're going to thank me in your moment of boredom. All right, let's go on to another one. Everybody, this is a good one. Everybody, 2 fingers, hold up your bunny, and then on the other hand, bunny. Bunny, 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 bunny. Good. Squirt gun. 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 Bunny. Squirt gun. Squirt the bunny. 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 You're going to wake up in the middle of the night saying, "Squirt the bunny." All right, good. That's good. That's good for your brain. It's a coordination thing, and it's a cognitive problem. It's a lot of different problems. All right, let's do this one. Let's do disco arms, okay? Good for a party. Good for a contra dance. We love contra dancing, right? CDSS. English dancing. Even better for English dancing. We're going to put one arm in the air like this and go 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Katy German doing a good job. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. All right, so the other arm, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Now let's put them together. It's going to be perfect for a dance. And 1, 2 and 3 and something and something and something and something and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keep working at it. It's hard. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this is hard stuff. All right. All right. Here's one. This is a straw that I had earlier. I'm going to do 2 more tricks with straws. I thought I had collected every trick with straws in the world, but a friend of mine said, "Hey, do you know the straw wrapper flapper trick?" And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And he said, no, no, no. You either know it or you don't, man. It's like, if you think so, that's not knowing it, because it's a good trick. I'm like, all right, I'm interested. So take one end off a straw, make a little flap it over like that. It's going to look like that. Massage the flap of paper for about half an hour. We don't have a half an hour. We're going to just do it for like 10 seconds. Not even 10, 3. All right, done. It's the more you massage it, the more your success increases. Then grab the straw, grab the wrapper, pull the straw through the wrapper. Satisfying pop. It's going to look like this. Hello, microphone. It's going to look just like that. Then you're going to fold the flap in half like that. And you're going to do that for like a half an hour. I'm going to do it for 2 seconds. 1, 2. The more you massage it, the more of a chance it's going to work. You're going to make a little flap like this in front of the straw like that. Then, normally what you do with a straw is what? You suck on a straw. You don't blow, but you suck on a straw, and you're going to suck on the straw now. You want to kind of blow, because there's that thing you might blow out of the way. That looks like a thing you might want to do. I don't know. I kind of want to do it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to suck. And you're going to suck and go, ah! That's it. I want the microphone. This is rated number 4 most annoying trick in the world in 1975. It's fairly annoying especially if you go up to someone who's sitting around on a couch reading a book or building a ship in a bottle or something like that, and you go right behind them and stick this, not in their ear. If there are any kids in the audience, you never stick anything in anybody's ear. You can stick it near somebody's ear, very close, but never in. And then you wait, make sure they don't know you're there. Maybe you've crept across the room. And you situate yourself right by their ear. And you'll get a good result. If by a good result you mean somebody jumping in the air and screaming, you will get that result. So try it. Thank you. Good trick. Very good trick. Let's pivot over to what other things I have here, which I'm not even sure what they are. All right. What shall we do? Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, let's do this. All right. If you know me, good Lord, you know this trick. This is a really good trick. It's not annoying. Maybe it's kind of annoying. It's like a 1 out of 10 annoying. It's probably a 2. It involves nails. So go grab some nails. If you have some nails, grab some. Only if they're easy to get. So the trick is to balance 13 nails on the head of one nail. Seems impossible, doesn't it? It should be, but it's not. It's actually really easy to do. And if you know the trick, again, there's nothing to it. If you don't know it, it's utterly amazing. So here's how it works. I'm going to say something. When you learn how this works, you're going to be disappointed. Charmaine, I wonder if you could aim the phone at my feet.
Yes.
Or not. I mean, here's how you build it. You put this nail in the ground. Put this nail in the ground. Oh yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh wow. You're gonna put that one. You're gonna put this nail over here and say goodbye. You're gonna put this nail across it like this, and then you're gonna build a nail log cabin, and you're going to build, and build, and build, and you're not gonna stop until you have one nail left. You're going to use this special nail to go on top of your building. And then you're going to pinch the nails together. Woo! It's very, very satisfying. Very satisfying. And when you now, amazingly, I'm going to balance this on top of this nail. This is very vulnerable. If you were to sneeze suddenly, this would fall over. If almost anything were to happen, this would not be possible. Because there's nothing happening, it's possible. I'm going to put this nail under here. the balancing nail, and it might work. It's at least a 40, 50, 60, 70% chance. Oh God, it's a little weird. Doesn't feel like it's gonna work. No, good, it did. Yay! Woo! Amazing. Yes. Oh, perfect. Yoo-hoo! Woo! All right, hang on. Another trick. How are we doing on time?
Great. It's 8:10.
All right, good. All right, good. All right, everybody. I want you to do the ping pong ball trick with me now. I want to show you how to do it, though. This is a little trickier than you might imagine. So here's how it's going to work. If you do have a ping pong ball at home, grab your ping pong ball and hold it in one hand. I want you to, in order to bounce a ping pong ball on a poof of air, it'll look like this, by the way. The way that works is you have to tighten your stomach muscles. So you're going to put your fists together like this. You're going to tighten your abdominal muscles and go. And sometimes that makes you fart. I'm just saying. Not that I would ever fart, but it does make some people do that. So don't be embarrassed if it happens. Totally human, totally normal. So you're going to. And you're going to put your head back. Huge puff of air. And while you're going, but maybe without saying, so put my neck back, my long neck. I got a really long neck. And I'm going to get that puff of air. Yeah!
Woo!
Yeah, very satisfying. Good job. If you did it, good job. If you didn't do it, not a good job. All right. All right, and an even better, more satisfying way is to use a straw. I'm like built of straws tonight. We're going to do it with a straw, which is an amazingly satisfying thing. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Love that. If you're in a restaurant, you'll kill at least 30 seconds of time doing that. All right, let's pivot over to something else here. All right. So I was in Arkansas.
We can't hear you. There's too much straw farting going on in the living room.
Oh, great. Wait, really?
Yeah, I guess so.
People are really farting with their straws? All right, you asked for it. I'm going to show you my best straw farting stunt. I'm not allowed to do this on public media, but I'm going to do it anyway. Take the straw that was part of the straw wrapper flapper. Take off the wrapper. Take the straw and put it down your shirt, under your armpit. Blow on the straw. Uh-oh. No, it's not going to work. I have too many clothing in the way. Too many. Nope, it's not going to work. I can already tell. I've been at this game a long time. Nope. Nope. One more try. I think that straw actually broke. Nope. All right. I was getting a red censor flag coming up anyway, and I'm not going to do that. I'll do it for you in private. I promise. Somewhere, somehow. All right. I'm going to show you another bad sound. Terrible sounds are at the very heart of stuntology, specifically sounds that are embarrassing. So I was in Arkansas, as I was starting to say, at a national park actually, and I was doing stuntology, and I did like every trick I knew. There was a guy there watching the whole time, as if he knew everything I was going to do. I'm like, who is this guy? And the guy came up and said, "Hey, you did some good ones, but you didn't do my favorite trick of all." I'm like, what? They're like, why do you know so much about tricks? And he reached into his overalls and he pulled out a cup. And he said, my favorite trick in the world is to call a chicken with a cup. And I have to admit, I had never seen that one before. And he lifted up the cup and he said, not much. And he said, I'll show you how to call a chicken with a cup. And I'm like, that's a string attached to a cup, technically. And he said, quiet. And then he held up like this and went. Oh, man. That's not working very well. Oh, it's kind of working. Oh, that's working better. At any rate. He wouldn't tell me how he did it. He just said it was water. And I went home and I thought, that wasn't just water. You need to get it really sticky. And so I experimented. As a member of CDSS, I of course had some violin rosin at home, as most members do. And I took the violin rosin and I put it on the string. I did this for about an hour, and I got a lot of rosin on that cup, on that string. And that's the secret, man. That's what makes this stunt come alive. And you can also just hold onto the string and run it through your fingers for an almost better effect. Yeah, that's pretty satisfying, and you can do that. You'll try that later. Attach a string to a cup, get some rosin. You know what to do. All right, thank you. Very good. All right, do we have time for like 2 more tricks? 3 more?
I think so. Yeah, it's 8:16.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. All right, let's do this one. Let's do this. This is a great trick. I learned this in a restaurant a million years ago. True story, mostly. And the waiter came up and said, you want to see a cool trick? This, again, internet hadn't been invented yet. This is a million years ago. This is in the 1800s. And I was at a restaurant, and he said, you want to see a cool trick? And I'm like, are you kidding? That's what I do. I document cool tricks. And he looked at me and said, whatever. And he said, do you want to see it or not? And he took a wine bottle with a cork like this. And all right, hang on. I have to do this on the ground.
Oh, hold on.
All right, hey. Thank you, Charmaine.
Camera work.
He took the cork and he thrust it into the bottle like that. And he said, I can get the cork out of the bottle. And I'm like, that's incredible. He said, it's a trick. And I said, that's amazing. Do it, man. And he said, it's going to cost you $5. I'm like, what? $5? And, what was funny was I paid him $5 because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have smartphones. All I had were these books about stunts, and I'd never seen this one before. Again, that's all true. So then he said, I'll show you how to do it. And it was at a restaurant that had these cloth napkins, and he took a cloth napkin. He said, here's how it works. Took the napkin, put it on the ground, and he rolled it up like this, like a little cravat. And then he put it under his arm like that. And then he fed the napkin into the bottle. And again, this is old school entertainment because this is kind of boring to watch. But it's like it's kind of exciting possibility to do the impossible. Of course, he said, I'm not going to break the bottle to get the cork out. I'm doing it in an ethical way. I do ethical stuntology. So he didn't call it stuntology. The stuntology word wasn't widely known at that point. And so he fed the napkin into the bottle. And at this point, I usually tell a story about my mother, who was a tremendous practical joker. She started out being a practical joker by being an identical twin. And she and her twin were very, very funny together, and sometimes very cruel together, but in the spirit of fun sometimes. So my mother once, my mother saw me being really bad. I forget exactly what I had done, but I had been bad, and my mom said, "I want to show you a great trick." And she brought me into the kitchen, and she said, "I'm going to show you how to pin a glass of water to the ceiling." And I'm like, she wasn't smiling or anything. It was sort of like menacing how she was saying this. I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing. Show me how to do that." And she got up on a chair, and she said, "Hand me a glass of water and some safety pins." And I handed her one safety pin. She's put it in the ceiling. And I'm like, "Whoa, this is crazy." And then she said, "I need another safety pin." She put it in the ceiling. And she said, "I need a third safety pin." When I handed her the third safety pin, she poured the glass of water on my head. And I'm like, "Hey, whoa, 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 whoa." And I said, "Why'd you do that?" And she said, "That's the trick." Yeah, that was funny. That's my mom. She was funny. And all right, so now you see the cork is situated right there. And we're going to let it go down into the napkin. Down, 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 down. And then we're going to pull the napkin up. Like out like this.
What?
That's how it's done. All right, it's a good trick. Very good. All right, Charmaine, do we have one more trick?
I think we got time for one more trick.
We're gonna do
one last trick.
I'm gonna do one risky trick using a very, very dangerous. It's gonna require camera work probably.
Okay.
Thank you for bearing with me doing these stunts, especially if you've been at CDSS camps and you know verbatim what I'm going to say when I do these tricks, because I do them all the time. And all right, so we have here a chicken pitcher, and we have here an unbreakable plastic cup. We're going to fill the unbreakable plastic cup 1/3 full of water. Now, it is very important that you use an unbreakable plastic cup. And it's very important that you do not do this stunt indoors, except occasionally at night for CDSS events. So now we're going to put the cup on our head, on our forehead, and feel how cool and refreshing it feels up there. It feels pretty nice. And the stunt is to drink all the water out of the cup. But of course, we're not allowed to use our hands, right? Because if you use your hands and you drink water out of a cup, that's just called regular drinking. This is stuntology drinking. All right, so let's do some stuntology drinking. Here's how it goes. And please join with me at home. Do not be inside. Do not use a glass. Do not use grape juice or wine. All right, so put it on. I'm going to put it on my forehead. And I am going to demonstrate the technique that makes this possible 60% of the time. Okay. Yeah, baby. Okay. Feels pretty good. Sort of. Ah! That's the hard part. And then this feels so good. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm celebrating my 79th birthday this November 8th, and I hope to do this until I'm 140. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you, Stuntology fans. And Stuntology is a lifestyle. It's not magic. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of eating. It's a way of blowing napkins. It's a way of doing many things, especially drinking. All right, so Eric and I are going to pound out a few more tunes, right?
More tunes.
No, wait, you're going to play it on the rosin string, right?
Yeah. Or the saw.
Stuntology tunes.
All right. Lucky for you, my musical saw is not going to be part of this. That will be part of us showing. Oh. Not close enough. We're going to play a tune from our beloved friend Claudio Buchwald called The Third Waltz.
We love playing this tune not at dances because people don't like it at dances.
They like it okay. It has an extra beat in it which makes you get on the wrong foot, which we find very funny. So if you want to waltz at home, you'll get on the wrong foot too. So grab your partner. All right.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Lovely. Did anybody get off on the wrong foot? All right, we have one more selection of tunes. One called The Moravian Star.
From Colin Lindsay.
Colin Lindsay, Brian Lindsay's brother. And the other from Tygo Macher, our Irish pal.
And Sam's former neighbor.
My former neighbor and amazing person and piano player and accordion player and human being.
Called The Omission Reel.
The Omission Reel, right. All right. So this is our last one. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. We love you all. It's good to... I know you're there. I know you're there behind somewhere in that. But we're just enjoying ourselves.
Aren't there banjo emojis? I see these emojis coming up.
Saw a banjo emoji.
Daring someone. Okay.
Might be my imagination. My emoji nation. All right, here we go.
1, 2.
Thank you, friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Thanks for putting up with us, and can't wait to see you at a dance.
I think you should all unmute for
Yay!
just a moment and everybody clap.
Thank you all so much. Sam, Eric, that was awesome. You're cool even on Zoom. It's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't learned that much since I saw them at camp, and there'll be a camp this summer too, this in 26.
Yeah, this duo will be at Camp Dance Music and Spice at Camp Cavelin, Michigan. Woohoo! And at Cascade of Music and Dance in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. So come on out and see them live. It's much more fun to heckle them in person. I say this from experience.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you all so much for coming out.